Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Lemon again, and for this video, I would like to make a little commentary on a few things that Donald Trump said about the troops that were killed in the past week or so of the Iran war. And they died in the Middle East after Iran bombed them. And it was very unfortunate that the soldiers were so young. They were one was half my age, at 19 years old, and the other was 25 years old. So anyway, comments he said were disgusting, even for someone like him in power. Mr. God bless the troops, and I love the troops and all that jazz. Bullshit. That's complete horse crap right there. Because what he said was inexcusable. He said that the last words of the people that were killed, and I'm sure this goes for any other troops that were killed in the Iran war on his behest, were that they support the idea about Iran not having a nuclear weapon. This is complete crap because he's putting words from his own mouth into the mouth of people who died for him, where he was deferred several times from serving his own country many years ago because of some bullshit excuse of bone spurs. Now, regardless of whether the people agree to that or not, it's irrelevant. You should honor them whether they said something like that or not. Besides, it's not the president's position to say whether they support the war or not. That's really kind of stupid and very, in my opinion, blasphemous to do something like that. To say, that they support this and that and the other thing, and they support the war that I started because I want to distract away from the Epstein files. And that I bought into a lie that Benjamin Netanyahu told me that I would be the first person ever tried to stand up to Iran or any other terrorists in the Middle East. Which, by the way, Trump is allowing the Saudi Arabian family to own nuclear weapons, to create weapons of mass destruction on their own property, on their own soil, on their own country, which is kind of stupid actually, because Trump tried to make himself to be the kingmaker. That I so choose this company for this country to have nuclear weapons, and this country no they can have anything, which is kind of dumb, like I said, and preposterous. And the only reason why he's allowing the Saudis to have their weapons like they want is because the Saudis allowed Trump to have some kind of a big business deal or a big property deal or something around it, like that. So that's kind of horse crap right there. A quid pro quo, a little bit of bribery too on that part. So anyway, this would mean that Donald Trump doesn't understand the concept of war, and nobody buys into the fact that when he said the truth that those were the last words. Now, for all he could think, the last words of the people could be like, why are we in this war? You know, I just wish I were back home with my friends and family and all that. And I'm scared of dying today. You know, why I want to go home. I want to be in the war, fighting for a cause that's rather blatantly stupid and ignorant and all that stuff. He did the same thing with Lindsey Graham. Now, Lindsey Graham was a senator, of course, and a pretty big kiss ass to Trump. And he possibly was gay. Me personally, I believe that he was gay. But that's his choice. That's how God made him, It's none of my business to say whether he was gay or not. I don't care about that stuff. But what I do care about is the fact that Trump again put words in his mouth about that we have to pass the Safe America Act. It's what Lindsey Graham always wanted, and what Lindsey Graham always his big goal, his big accomplishment. I say no. I don't mind the fact that he was a gay person and all this stuff. And I don't care if he was old or whatever. But I know that he's a big piece of shit who likes to turncoat whenever the power is in his favor. I remember a long time ago, Lindsey said that that Trump is a race bigot and all of this other junk too. But then when Trump got in power, he was like, "Hi Trump, I love you," and all this other stuff too. "Welcome aboard. You're my hero. I'll do anything for you. I mean, and you mean anything for you." So, these people, the last words could have been something completely harmless. It could have been like, "God help me," or "Peace be with you," or something. But yet Trump's gonna make sure to pass on his agenda, make him look good. I'm really into that the last words in this life was like something like "God bless Trump. Trump is the greatest person on earth." Trump is an awesome He-Man of the universe and all this other junk too. Lean out real thick. So, I think that's really blasphemous. And I think that it's very horrible what he said and what he did. Now he's trying to legitimize his agenda by making it so that it came out of the soldier's dead mouth, and they wish it were to continue on with this whole nonsensical war, and this whole fantasy about that Trump will be able to beat Iran just by shooting missiles at them wildly. And another thing too, I doubt it very much if any of the soldiers are okay with just shooting civilian infrastructure targets randomly and wildly. That's a war crime right there. Trump don't care. Trump is just like, what the hell? I committed so many crimes in America. I will do it in foreign incursions or wars or whatever that are illegal by the way. So I don't like this at all. What he did and what he's doing, because he's tarnishing the image of heroes that have died in his name because of his ungodly war. I don't want to bring religion into this, but this guy is this war is unholy, and it's blasphemous what he did. Even to Lindsey Graham, it's unheard of for any living president to do this. Can you imagine if Obama, Biden, any of the Bushes, or if any of the former president had done this? Clearly Trump is crazy. For the best way to put it, he is not so. He's crazy. He's insane. Unfortunately, he's nuts. Nobody buys into the whole. And we're doing so well over there. Our mental high. Our oil production is high, and the Brent crude is high up there. Nobody is buying that. In fact, what I think is that whenever he said that the missiles are high up there, we have large stockpiles of that. There's large stockpiles of oil and crude oil and petroleum and things like that. The opposite. Because that's what he's worried about now. You gotta give him contents. He's the crude oil, the reserve petroleum deposits in Texas and Louisiana, they're like at regular low. They're gonna be at a dangerous level, like around 40 days from now, maybe less than that by now. So pretty soon we're gonna have to do ration lines like we did back in the 70s, a little bit before my time, but still. And as far as the weapons are concerned, the ballistic missiles and the interceptors, because we have a crackpot of a Secretary of War or Defense of War, whatever you want to call it, it's completely, he's like shooting at random targets, random this, random that, widely, and we all know what happens when we shoot widely in a shooter game like Doom or Halo or something. We run out of ammo real quickly. So that's eventually what's gonna happen. They keep shooting it like super fast and super hard and super blitzkrieg style. Bad things will happen. We'll eventually run out of ammo. So that's making me bad, especially when the enemy is like Russia or, God forbid, China or somebody else wants to attack us with a piece of the United States. What's Trump gonna do? Have a thumb up his ass? Or he gonna hide out in his little bunker bomb? He's gonna become a little bunker bitch. Well, he can. So, it's all because of Donald Trump. And like I said, his policies will end up leaving us with a cupboard bare. Because those missiles and the strategic petroleum reserve take years to restock and refill. But because Trump is an idiot and a nihilist and a narcissist too, he doesn't really see a future without him. He can't see beyond what's gonna happen after he leaves office. So everything will be like, shoot, fire right now. Who cares about the future? I'm old. I'm not gonna live longer than this. So let them all rot. Everything will be fine. My legacy will be cemented in the history. But it's not very pretty. It's not a very bright future. Things are not good for America. We're going to be at a weakened state if we if he keeps shooting everything like tabula rasa style over in Iran, and then possibly Cuba afterwards. It doesn't look too pretty for us. And he said that we're going to be able to get our oil reserves stockpile up high from the Venezuelan oil reserves. But no company will touch it over there because of the fact that the oil that's in Venezuela is very hard to get to, and it's very it's not the right type of crude oil, and it's not there's too much warfare and conflict going on over there too. So once again, Trump made promises that he can't possibly keep by himself because he doesn't understand squat about anything besides me, I. You know, I like to see him go down there and want to get oil for himself. I like to see him go over to Iran, fight for himself. I like to see him do all of this stuff rather than just being a keyboard warrior. You know, rather than just sitting there saying, okay, you do this, you do that, you do this over here. Because I remember watching an interview with him with Barbara Walters back when she was alive many years ago. He said, "We'll just go over to Iran and take it well." So Barbara said to him, "How?" He said, "We'll just take it." So he probably assuming the same thing is true now, because he doesn't learn from his mistakes. Doesn't learn from anything. It's always perfect. He's always right. He always surrounds himself with yes men and yes women. And he always says shut up to those who disagree with him. And he even takes naps right when he's getting briefed on important matters. So yeah. I don't like this situation. It doesn't look very good for us in America. You know, I also love it when people whenever Trump tried to make a joke because he tried to be a funny man and all this stuff, he tried to make a joke here and there, but then there's an awkward silence there because people know that he's not funny. The jokes he tried to make aren't funny, and you just do ha ha ha, but they're not laughing with him. They're laughing at him because he's pathetic, senile old man who thinks he can overreach everything, and he thinks he gets the power to do a certain thing, but he doesn't. And quite frankly, it's getting kind of annoying real fast. Just like when he without the World Cup finals, and they were giving away the trophy and the medal to everybody. He kept staying there trying to bask in their glory, trying to all farm off of them. You know, the people over there were just saying, "Go away, shoot, go away." To the point that even Infantino had to handle him off the side, like an old person playing shuffleboard. Go away, go into your corner. Let the real winners have their moment. And I have a feeling that that's what's gonna happen. Good try to it's too much of a try hard with everything. He's saying, "Oh, everything is all rainbows and sunshine and parts and everything nice." Whereas the truth is much more grim, much more painful, and much more sad than what he pretends that everything is gonna be. But deep down, under all the bluster and makeup and bad hair plugs and all that, I have a good feeling that he knows that he fucked up really. I know that he knows that he did tremendous wrong in the world. He knows that whatever he touches turned into garbage. He knows that everything costs a fortune because of him. He knows the economy is crappy because of him. He knows that everything in the world would be better off without him. And that's why I want to bring out this little number again. Because he's the biggest con man, the biggest leech, the biggest fraud in America right now. Or ever in history. I'm going to say ever in history. We will never see someone as openly corrupt or openly mockable than Donald J. Trump, president number 45 and 47. Especially because he's like to make fun of the disabled people. And Joe Biden, for the same reason that he had him right now. Like when he clears, I just ordered another kind of test. Okay, that's something to be proud of. But okay, yeah, you want to prove that you're smart, are you a good boy? So there's another little phrase I want to say. But catch us on. God bless America and all of our troops. But fuck Donald Trump. Because he doesn't deserve jack shit. He's been profiting off the government, profiting off the American people, and just is a very bad person. He failed every test to get in heaven, and he's a very horrible, horrid human being. He barely is even a human being. He likes empathy, he likes morality, he likes ethics, and he probably, and he probably smells bad too because of all the diaper dumps he's been taking. Presumably. That's what I mean. That's all I gotta say about that. I know that this is more than what he's been saying a bit about the troops over the last couple of days. But it's been sizzling inside my body. So I just hope that he's got rid of by the 25th Amendment, and then hopefully he's arrested by some international organization for all this war crimes against civilians and stuff, because he doesn't care about human life. We've seen that before the presidency too. He doesn't give a jack about human life or civilian infrastructure. He's like, oh look, what did this button do? Bam. What did this button do? Bam. So, I hate him. He's a very horrible human being. He should not be in the presence of the United States of America. And I would like to apologize and offer prayer to everyone else in the world. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. Peace be with us all. And I think we're going to need all the prayers we can get. Whether you believe in a high power or not, we need all the help we can get. Peace to be with all you guys next year. So,